What do you know about the history of South Africa? The history of this country, the in and out, the up and down, all the events that have happened in this country ever since the dawn when Dutch settlers settled in South Africa. What do you know that history? What have you been taught at school? Were you given the very same version that we as black people were given? Or as a white person, you're given another version of how history unfolded, or how heroic fruit trekkers were, how they have encountered savage tribes in the middle of Africa, South Africa, and then they destroy them. The Battle of Blood River, all those stories that we learned and we grow up, are they really true? And are they really accurate? This is the Kgosi FM live show, pre-recording, and I'm going to give you a little bit lesson in history. And I was sitting down looking and asking myself, how does this history go about? You know what I'm saying? How does history go about? And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get somebody who can be able to tell us a little bit of that history, brief history, that where we come from, South Africans, and why did we have 94? And who are these people that came to settle in our country, who arrived on ships in 1652? This is Kgosietsile on the live show. My name is Kgosietsile. Welcome to another edition, another video that I always like to do whenever I can get a video and then I can be able to analyze the video myself, or I can give you a chance to analyze. So please like, share, subscribe to our channel, which is on YouTube now with the name the Kgosietsile live show. We're recording this straight from the Kgosi FM studios, right here on number 702 in Westview, Danville. But if we can go further with the video, we are going to go to talk to our sponsor a little bit, and then we will take it then from there we're going to continue with our video, our video of the history of South Africa, presented by yours truly, Kgosietsile Zuma. This show is brought to you by Segongane Medical Services and Clinic. They are private clinic situated in number 70 in Westview, Danville. They specialize on the following: primary health care, ailment diagnosis and treatment, including medication, wound care, family planning, well baby clinic, basic ultrasound, laboratory blood services, treatment of chronic illnesses, treatment and management of patients on ARVs, wellness screening, antenatal clinic, HIV services and counseling. They have a pharmacy on site, and they are doing CCMDD services as well, OHS clinic, circumcision clinic and abortion services. Their cell phone number is 064 548 7176 or 071 422 8576. Again, the address is 702 in Westview, Pretoria West in Danville. Cell phone number again is 064 548 7176 or 071 422 8576. And that is our sponsor for today, Kgosi Medical Services. They are in number 702 in Westview, right here in Danville in Pretoria West. They don't take medical aid for now. They only take cash for consultations, and the cash is $350. And then if you want to come and visit them, they are on number 702 in Westview, Pretoria West in Danville. Yeah. As I was saying earlier, I was talking about this history of this country, the history of South Africa, where we come from as a country, what have we accomplished, just a brief, because many kids nowadays are not taught the very history of where we come from. So I done history myself at school from grade 1 until matric. I was doing it because I wanted to be a lawyer. But you know how we come to Gauteng from Northwest and from other provinces of this country. We come to Gauteng, and when we get here, we change careers because of the demand of the time. And then I end up going to medicine. But hey, here I am. I still love history. I've got this studio, and I'm going to teach you. I'm going to give a little history lesson to you. But it's not going to be me talking. It's going to be the president himself, Mr. Zuma, who has given a little bit the brief history in Parliament. And I believe that is why he was so hated, and that is why they didn't like him, because he called a spade a spade. But hey, let me not be his mouthpiece. You take a look and then and judge for yourself, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Remember, this is our channel of YouTube, the Kgosi FM live show. Please like, share, subscribe, and you know what? Comment and tell me what you think of what Zuma just said now in this coming video. Take a listen.
This was taken when we were celebrating the birthday of the ANC. When the ANC was celebrating 103 years since it was born. I had to give a history of this country, and the history is history. History has chapters, painful chapters, wonderful chapters. But it is history. When I said, when Jan van Riebeeck landed in the Western Cape, our problems began, is a historic fact. Now, I always avoid giving the details of the history, but it's not necessary. When he landed, there were residents here, in this very city, who were established here. The Cohen son. They were living here, and they welcomed him warmly. And he established himself. They were together. Somewhere, somehow, a tension began. And there were wars that were fought. They were removed here forcefully from their area. Removed. And some of them went deep into the country, north, south, east. And the wars began because after the population arriving in South Africa grew, it is written down, it's not me concocting it. There were 8 major wars that were fought in the Eastern Cape. I didn't write that. We are not counting other small wars. 8 major wars. There was a great track from here when there was a quarrel between the Afrikaners and the British. As a history of this country, there was an establishment of 4 republics, 2 belonging to the British, 2 belonging to the Afrikaners. When all of this was done, the blacks were not consulted, even the establishment of the republics. The clash between the Afrikaners and the British continued. There is no part of the country that there were no clashes. With the British, with the Afrikaners. Some are big and known, some are not known. The Zulus fought the British, and the major one was at Isandlwana. The Afrikaners fought the Zulus, and Ngombe, what you call the Brald River. And the British, the Afrikaners discovered, as they call it, the discovery, they actually came across mineral resources. And the British heard this, and they vowed to defeat the Afrikaners. And there was an Anglo-Boer war. As a history of this country. Very bitter war. We all participated on either side. Only now, when we are correcting history, we are calling it a South African war because we all died in that war. At the end of that war, the English-speaking and the Afrikaners met to negotiate and agreed the 4 republics should be combined and took very important decisions. Where will the parliament be as part of compromises? It will be in Cape Town. Where will the administrative city, Pretoria? Where will be the judiciary? Orange Free State in Bloemfontein. And one of the decisions, when these 2 met, was that you will have, therefore, a Union of South Africa, the government who should be elected at all times, but the black people would not participate in that process. It was that decision, that made the black people to make a call to meet in Mangaung in Bloemfontein to discuss what we called the national calamity, that the indigenous people are not to be part of governing this country. Very bad decision on an important decision of uniting the four republics. It was that time that we said we are going to fight to liberate ourselves, to be part of government. To participate, you must know, because this country was still under British colonialism fully. There were delegations that went to England to raise the matters. We did not want to fight. We wanted to be part of the process to govern this country. This now are the activities many years after the landing of Jan van Riebeeck, who opened the way for them to be here. They started fighting here, Eastern Cape, Free State, everywhere. There were wars. And again, after many years, we said, but what type of a country do we want? Because we must be clear, if we say we want a non-racial South Africa, what are we talking about? That's why the meeting in 1955, wherein everyone in this South Africa, including government, was invited to say what type of a country do we want. And that's why the Freedom Charter is important, because that's when we molded this country we have today, a democratic, prosperous country. Important in that gathering is a preamble of the Freedom Charter. That is the basic policy of the ruling party, where we said, we the people of South Africa declare for all to know that South Africa belongs to all who live in it, black and white.
And we're back. Yeah. So what do you think? Should I say more? Should I say less? Should I say anything about that? Or just heard the president articulate in parliament in total silence. Did you see that? In total silence, and he was articulating it word by this person, by the way, went up to grade 2, and then he left school to join this armed struggle, the struggle outside the country. Yeah. I don't know. It's not because I love Jacob Zuma. It's because of the way he articulates something which even doctorates cannot bear or cannot even dare to come in front and tell us what's happening. Because, when we were taught history, remember when we were taught history at school, we were taught the Battle of Blood River. That, I don't know if that is the Isandlwane War. We were told that more than 2,000 Zulus were killed on that day. Just a typical example. White Afrikaners went to KZN, and when they got there, they built a half-moon lager. And that lager, I don't know, 15 people were in there, or 30 at the most, and it was women and children as well in there. And the Boers, the Zulus came in and attacked them. And apparently, that they made a vow. That's why in South Africa, in old country, they had the day of the vow. They made a vow to God that, listen, if you give us victory over these Zulus today, we will build you a church. And there was an NG Kerk in South Africa. Apparently, they did win the war, and according to their history, more than 2,000 Zulus were killed. I've always had a question about that. I'm like, okay, sharp, let's look at the time. Those Zulus were Dingaan Zulus. That means they were trained by Shaka first and lived under Shaka for a very long time. Meaning they knew the guns that were used by the white people. They knew the cannons that were used. They know how to use those things. Shaka taught everybody everything that the whites who were with him taught him, right? That's number one. Number two, they were bloodthirsty. They were there to destroy and to kill. And now we're talking about more than 2,000 people coming to attack a company of like 30 people. At the moment, we said 30 people for the lack of, just for argument's sake. Are you telling me that 30 people, or let's first look at the technology of the time, okay? The guns that they had were like this. Those guns, it was a long pistol where it shoots with a balls, a little steel ball, and a gunpowder. Literally gunpowder, you have to pour it in, all right? So they pour the gunpowder, they put the steel, then they cock the gun, right? They cock the gun, and then they shoot. Then they put the gun down again, put the gunpowder, put the ball inside, cock it, and then shoot. So the impact on the gunpowder is what actually propels the ball out of the gun, right? And then you are saying to us, that 2,000 men, more than 2,000 men, according to history books that we taught at school, were running towards your lager, that is wooden wagons that were built in a circle. They were running towards you, and you managed to kill more than 2,000 of them with those kind of weapons. Yeah. What do you think? Tell me, what do you think? Below, comment, please, like, subscribe, and share our content. Yeah, because sometimes, tell me what you have been taught at school as well. Give me your ideas of what you taught at school, what it taught, because now they taught me that. I learned that incident 4. That the Battle of Blood River, the Zulus lost, and then the white Afrikaners, not the English, but the Afrikaners built a church for God on that stand, celebrating the victory and the day of the vow. That is what the white schools taught us. So, what do you think? Tell me in the comments below. I love you. Have a lovely night. Have a lovely day, further. Bye bye.